is Danny, and today, the Phantom program has started again. Here is a summary of all the things we have found and what we need to solve for now. On the Heaven map there's a radio you can interact with. Hannah from Battlefield 4 is still alive and is saved by the Phantom program apparently. It gives you a charm that you have to put on your weapon after she is done yapping. If the round resets, you need to go there again to start it. Once she has done yapping, new things will show up. Do keep in mind you gotta do this on a portal server or in the live game, not on SP and co-op. In the garage, near the A objective of the gas station, you can find a locker with the name A. Simpson with a piece of paper that will tell you the order and probably how many times you need to do a thing. But more about that in a bit. If you also add a thermal sight into the mix to your gun, you can see phantom images hidden in places. In this case it is a skull next to the locker, and I believe this is to show the players that thermal sights have to be used, and it isn't per se a part of the Easter egg itself. Since when looking around, Easter egg hunters tend to grab the thermal sights on random points of interest, which these lockers obviously are. So this is just to show that we need to use it. Now about the piece of paper down below the lockers. There are 3 different variants. The image on screen is directly from the files, so it is more clear. There is 138, 45, 91, E before A, and B is less than or equal to E. Second, there is 44, 212, 190. A is smaller than C, C is bigger than D. And as last, 61, 42, 94. D before B, but C is after D. Most likely detailing what order you have to do the stuff. In this case it is CDB. However, there's also some interesting stair-stepping things in the top left corner, with 2 going from big to small, but 1 doing it the other way around. The charm is called Split the Difference, so maybe the title is also being used in the mat. And the letters detail what flag you have to go to, A till E, since there's only 5 flags on the map. Okay, but Danny, where do you use that stuff, you might ask? This all seems a bit weird. Well, on B1 in the crashed condor there's a door with buttons, after you of course let Hannah do the yapping. If you look with your thermal sight at the door, you can see 3 objects. You cannot see the things if you don't have a charm on your gun, as you can see here. First I didn't have a charm, second on my own gun I did have a charm. That are referencing past Battlefield Easter eggs. The valve from Battlefield 1's Megalodon Easter egg, the Phantom skull in the middle from Battlefield 4, and the headphones from the Masterman Easter egg once again in Battlefield 1. Surprised there is no Battlefield 5 stuff like the stairs. But how do you know what icon relates to what flag? Well, good that you ask. On each flag there is 1 thing hidden that you have to look for with your thermal sights, which also includes stuff you probably don't need to use based on the piece of paper you got. Here in this case on the A flag there's a valve, but we don't need that according to our paper. Then when I go to the D flag I check the known locations where you can find stuff, like in the little shed, and then in the bigger shed where you can find a pair of headphones hanging, which we do actually need. Then on D1 we can find the skull. I got it on first try, but you might be able to find other things somewhere else. At the end of the video I will do a quick slideshow of all the current known locations of the items. But if you know the items out of your head, you can just skirt around. And now you can deduct that the last item on B is the valve, because that is the only thing left, and that was of course correct. So back to the door. You can press them 24 times, and on the 25th time it resets by blinking. Discussions are happening if the code is 24 or 25 presses, or if it's less, I'm not sure. So after this we know the skull first, then the headphones, and then the valve. But we don't actually know how many times you have to press it. And that is where we are currently stuck with this part of the Easter egg. How to do the mod. I had the idea that 6 minus 1 is 5, 4 minus 2 is 2, and 9 minus 4 is also 5. Together that's 12, and if you double that it's 24. You can do the same with another sum, but not all 3 of them. So I don't know. There's 2 other things on different maps too. On Kaleidoscope you can find something on the 3rd floor desk of the main building, and if you melee the papers you get a sheet of Korean text with the Phantom Skull. No idea what to do with it for now, maybe we have to solve the Heaven thing first. And on Stranded there's a bunch of weapon crates with fold weapons that we cannot use, even if we bring the same conduit on Portal. There is the AN-94, which is unlockable currently, the Bren, the Thompson, the Panzerschreck, the Spas and the Kar 98. But we cannot use it, so I have no idea what to do with it for now. A new radio has also been found on the same map, under the ship in the middle, but we can't interact with it just yet. Probably we have to do something on Heaven first. There's also a container on top of the ship, which seems like it will be activated at a later stage. Like one of the containers some time ago on the port map. Another thing people have noticed is that different previously disabled Easter egg assignments that are related to the Phantom program are re-enabled again. Like the ones for Pike's Secret Challenge, which required you to do a bunch of things. Unlock the player card Timeless by signaling an ally on Reclaimed. Unlock the player card Happy Birthday by recovering the proof on Hourglass. Unlocks a charm called Echo State by sending a message on Orbital. That also gave you a Deagle skin called Ghost Killer, which all had their own somewhat long list of things which you had to do. So there's a very good chance that we might need the player card that you could unlock with it, which I luckily already got. While it is unconfirmed for now that you need it, it is always good to do it anyway. Some of the things can be done against bots luckily. This is probably nothing, but if you shoot the A Simpson sign it flashes danger get out for 1 or so frames. And like I said, it is probably nothing, but it is good to mention nonetheless. But hey, that's all I got for now. Subscribe for more. This was Danny and I see you on the battlefield.